'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar-har, fiddle-dee-dee. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You are a pirate. We got us a map.
Welcome to the Captain's Quarters, the official monthly podcast of the Pirate Bay Free Company of Genova server. Here are your hosts, First Mate, Miliana Gray, Man o' War, Carito Felina, Me Hardy, Caratus Helmbreaker, and the Pirate Lord of Yar Booty, Capn Aya.
And welcome everybody to the monthly State of the Booty address for the Pirate Bay Free Company of Genova server for Final Fantasy XIV. I am your host, moderator, whatever you want to call me, Troy, aka Caratus Helmbreaker. With me, as always, is David. Can you give me your full name? Because I know that's not your full name. What Skype is showing me.
Oh, it's David Big Penis Taylor.
There you go. Now you can go find him, and you can go kill him. You can find him in the phone book. So David Big Penis Taylor, a.k.a. Kirito Felina. Next up is Miss Kiwis and Mangoes herself.
Millie?
There you go. And our captain Tessa, a.k.a. Aya Bea. How are you?
Good.
And we have a couple of special guests with us this month. So a couple of people who are celebrating some promotions, which we'll get into a little bit later. But for right now, I just want to say hi to Patrick Niems, Niemandious Canaan. How are you, sir?
Not bad. Yourself?
I am wonderful. And Jen, correct me, because I always have to ask everybody. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it Snowfo?
Yes!
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that word is faux, and it does mean fake.
It is actually German for fox. So it is fox.
Okay.
It's English for fake.
They can't see this, but I'm winking at you really slow right now.
Tessa, you break my soul.
So, welcome everybody to the show. We've got a lot to cover this month, actually. I'm really happy. I was worried when, after the first episode, we may have kind of blown our load a little bit early, but there's a lot of shit going on. So,
we just keep on going.
We had a meeting, about a week and a half ago, and at first it seemed like we were talking for about an hour and a half, and it seemed like there wasn't going to be much to talk about, and then Tessa said, well, actually, I've got a few things that I want to go over, and 30 minutes later, she was still listing off shit.
Yeah.
So,
I write stuff down.
So that being said, I'm actually just going to kick it over to the good captain to start off with. For the State of the Booty address, I would say you go right ahead down on this list of everything you want to chat on and just let everyone chime in as they see fit.
I will. Well, there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Some of the most exciting things that I'm really looking forward to are the website changes. Zafikari works on our website. I mentioned it last podcast, but coming up, we're going to have some new things put in. Like in the past, in order to promote our Me Hardys or our First Mates, we as our First Mates and then me would all get together in our officers' meetings, and we would kind of nominate people that we've seen doing things that we believe embody what a First Mate or a Me Hardy would do. And from those pool of nominees, we would all kind of choose together and then ask them if they wanted the position. It would put some people in an awkward position because some people would be like, well, I never really thought of being any kind of officer in the FCA. I'm really just here to play the game. And but they would feel obligated. Yes.
Well, not the obligated part. I was just raising my hand.
Yeah.
I was raising my hand to agree to everything, and then you said obligated, and I was like, wait, put my fucking hand down, because I actually enjoy it. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, but some people, they just didn't think about it, which is good in a way, because we're reaching out to people who didn't think about it, but they do embody all the qualities that we need in an officer of the FC. So, but in doing that, however, we'd skip over people who did really want the position, but maybe didn't know how to go about getting it. And so now on the website, we're going to put applications on there for Me Hardys, which are sub-officers, and for first mates, which are the real decision makers in the FC. What it's going to be is if you're a quartermaster in the FC, you can apply to be a Mihardi. You'll fill out an application. It'll have some questions on it kind of posed from the first mates and maybe a few from the other Mihardis. And then we'll choose from those pool of nominees the next time that we have an officers meeting, and we'll say these people, they want to be a Mihardi. And then if we feel like you fit the bill and you filled out the application correctly, we'll approach you with it. The first mates, they fill out the first mate application if they're already a Mihardi. And from there, we'll take that pool of nominees or from the people who applied to be a first mate. And the next time we have an election, we'll have the interview with those people, kind of take the questions from the application and post them for the people in the FC to vote on. So, and it really kind of changes up the whole way that we have done things before, because we'll be pulling from people who want to be a part of the officership in the FC.
So here's a question: Do you have a set number of first mates that you're trying to maintain? Do these positions open when someone decides to leave or someone moves on, or is it situational? Are you doing this at regular intervals? What's the story?
In the past, it was always we wanted to keep kind of a set, comfortable number. So it was really just where we felt we all went really well together with. But moving forward, since we've gotten so big and there's been so many things going on, it's really just the number that we feel is enough to keep everybody, how do I put this?
I think you can say in line without offending anybody.
Not in line. But just make sure that there's a first mate on at all times so that people have somebody to go to if there's something going on and they need to talk to a first mate.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. That's awesome, and it's cool that you sort of amended things. Hey, I never really thought of it like that. That you could very easily pass up someone who was really interested in the position, given the way the process was prior. So that kicks ass. That's awesome. Now I know you said the applications are going up on the site. Are they up as of now, or is that something still in progress?
Yeah, they're not up yet, and the reason they're not up yet is because I'm really trying to think of the best way to pose the questions on the application, because I don't want to make them too terribly difficult where people come up to the application and they're like, screw this biz. But I don't want to make them so easy that people are like, what do you think I am, a kindergartner? Jeez.
Can it just say you like game? You play game? Come play game with us.
Yeah, can you speak pirate? I think it's really just me stalling, because I want the applications to be a real thing, and when it launches, I want it to be successful. So,
well, you should definitely delay things for success. It's something we talk about on my other show quite a bit. Is people crap stuff out, especially in the video game industry, and it ends up sucking because of it. So take your time. I'm sure everyone will appreciate it more if you do.
Oh, I am taking my time. Don't worry. This has been a thing for a couple weeks now. I think we've talked about it, and I still have yet to put them up on the website. And I keep telling people, you wait, they're coming. And so when they finally hit, people are probably going to be really underwhelmed by it. Like, really? This is what you did, Aya?
I'm sure they're all expecting their application to like make them breakfast and blow them while they fill it out. But I don't think it's going to have that kind of power. I see David shaking his head. He's like, "Fuck yeah! Where was that application for me?" So next up, it looks like we have a little fundraising project going on.
Yeah, buddy. We're building the monstrous Moogle wall in the company workshop right now. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a glamour for your house, and it will make it Moogle-licious. There's going to be Moogles all over it. It's going to be freaking huge. Insane business, and they go on the market board for an incredible amount of money, especially the monstrous ones, which are the ones for the mansions. So we're going to be making that. So if you head on over to the company workshop and you open up the little control panel right there, it'll tell you what things we need to make it through that stage, and if you can donate those items, it would be great. But what we're going to do is, when the monstrous Moogle wall is all made, we're going to put it up on the market board and use that money to put in the FC chest and fund future events.
So when you contribute to this, you are in fact contributing to the health and well-being of the Pirate Bay in the future.
Yeah. you're
awesome.
contributing to possibly getting some money at some, events. Because we like to do big prizes. So as long as we keep the company chest well stocked with some gills, then we get to do the big prizes for the event.
You'll be donating booty to the booty.
That's right.
I like that.
All that booty.
You see, Millie knows how to contribute properly to an audible format like this. You just jump in whenever it's funny. So next up, we have the Palace of the Dead content, the Deep Dungeon content fast approaching. And we talked a little bit about there is a plan in place to really tackle this in a meaningful way with the FC. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Oh!
You take it, Carito.
Whoa.
Who do you think you are, sir?
My bad.
I'll be speaking to you later. Go ahead.
I want to point out that he thinks he is, we were talking briefly before the show, and he believes he is Brosidon, king of the Broshan.
Yeah.
That is who he believes himself to be. So
Yes.
anyway.
With a big penis.
Brosidon.
I call it the conch shell.
Kirita, I think it's good that you let your dreams stay dreams sometimes.
Wow.
Gotcha.
So Brosidon, BP, stands for Big Penis Brosidon. I believe the floor is yours.
Okay, you don't want to tackle this one?
No, I'm good. I'll lay down and let you go.
That sounds hot.
I don't know. We'll go with that.
That gives a whole new meaning to I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay, so 4-man dungeon, 50 levels. Every 10 levels is going to be your checkpoint. Cool thing about that is you can go in as just DPS, you can go in as just healers, you can go in as just tanks. And when you get out, when you hit 50, you get to keep the gear. But when you go in there, you start at level 1. You have to have a level 17 character to get in. We don't yet know if it's going to be like raid viable. So when you get out, you might have some piece of shit artifact gear, but who knows yet. It's going to be fun. I think it's interesting. I think they're trying to make like a dungeon crawler aspect versus Final Fantasy 1 through 3, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks interesting.
I'm gonna make myself sound like kind of a bitch here for a second, but it reminds me a lot of the Via Infinito from Final Fantasy X-2 because I did everything in that game.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, good. As long as I'm not the only one.
No, I had to do it.
Stress fear, so loud.
Look. The transformations looked awesome. It was like a Sailor Moon video game. I thought it was fantastic.
I wish so much that people could see your face, Carudis, when you're actually like talking about these things, because you smile like a little boy. Like your eyes light up. You're like, yeah, Final Fantasy X-2. I played that game. Like what? And your eyes are like sparkle, sparkle.
I can't help it. I you know what? Actually, my partner, my co-founder of Black Coat Radio, he purchased that for me back when we were in college. He purchased that as a gift, and he actually said the guy at the video game store laughed at me because he said that game is for girls, and I said that motherfucker doesn't know what he's talking about, and I loved it. Thought it was great. So, but anyway, I want to pull us back a little bit. Who is actually spearheading the running of the Deep Dungeon when it comes out?
Well, that's Avanarin. He's going to be spearheading it with the Mihardis, but that doesn't mean that there won't be other groups running it throughout. It's just going to be some of the official ones that are going to be put up on the event calendar. Is going to be him, and then a couple other Mihardis, probably Yargith. Yargith likes to back him up on the things. He helps with the pony farms a lot. Via V, she's really big into helping out, especially with the pony farms, so I'm sure she'll get on that too.
So speaking of the good Avanarin, he's also doing some running of the Aquapolis in the coming weeks, right? Which I'd love to get in on. That's the one thing I haven't had a chance to do yet. Still have not had a chance. And Niems has actually been lording the fact that he is hoarding Dragonskin maps over my head because I haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance to actually. I know, but I wanted to make it sound like you were being a dick.
Yeah. Thanks,
Such
buddy.
a dick. It's not nice names.
So any other follow up on the Aquapolis, or did that pretty much cover it? Everyone got quiet for a second.
Yeah, well, that's because while he's been running them, there's been a ton of people that are like, "Hey, I've got a map. Do you want to run it?" And so it turned from being something that was going to be official to something that people are doing daily.
Nice.
So if you're really looking to do it, and you don't have a map, you could even ask an FC chat, and there's chances are somebody will say either they have a map, let's go do it, or hey, I'll get a map, give me a second, and we'll go run this.
Nice.
So
I think me personally, I just need to find more time to actually get on. I got on once this past week, and I had my soul crushed because the first thing I tried to do was do my weekly run of the Weeping City, and even though I've cleared it multiple times already, I finally got a group that taught me the meaning of the name Wiping City, and it just it broke my spirit. I got out of there, and I actually remember talking to Niems, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna go play Overwatch with my wife because I'm so butthurt from how poorly that went. I can't bring myself to do anything else. I could not believe that we couldn't find our way past Ozma. It's just not that fucking hard.
Just remember that we were able to clear it drunk.
yes.
So I never knew if you guys got that clear. When I left that night, you were still waiting to queue up after 2 hours.
We did.
Yeah. No, listen. On Millie's birthday, we ran it all completely drunk. I mean, basically all of us. I think there was minus one person that was not drunk in this group. We were wasted. And we're on there laughing, slurring our words. We could barely talk. And we were carrying the other two alliances.
There was one guy that kept saying mean things in the alliance chat, and I was just like, your mom.
It was ridiculous. The worst comebacks
I
ever.
remember 2 mechanics from that fight.
Yeah, right.
Well,
but we live.
That's what kills me. Is it feels like the general feelings with that is just that any mechanics are too hard. There are people complaining about, and what's worse is it creates this sort of weird toxic environment where people are saying there's no point to going in because people are going to fuck it up and waste your time. Or the mentality that led people on. I think the content was about 48 hours old, and someone told me I should have watched a video the first time I went in. And I was like, fuck you, watch a video. You go fucking watch a video and open up the slot to somebody else who wants to explore. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I feel you. It's like people don't want to go watch a video before they run the content. They want to experience the content first. I know a lot of people do, especially if it's only 48 hours old. That's the exciting part, is running the new stuff while it's new.
I wanted to feel unprepared for Ozma, just like the first time I fought Ozma in 9. You know what I mean? I walked into that, and I couldn't hurt the thing at all, and then I went and looked at my guidebook, and I was like, fuck, I have to do all these side quests to hurt it? Fuck that thing. I never beat it. But,
Is it that I don't remember which Ozma is?
I'm sorry?
I don't remember which one Ozma is.
Ozma's
9.
the big sphere.
Yeah.
The big spinning sphere, and it was the...
With the meteors?
Yes, it was the it was the super boss of Final Fantasy IX, and it was unique. It was unique to Final Fantasy super bosses in that in its own game, the game had a ton of side quests, and every side quest you would do would unlock another way to attack it. So, for instance, when you first show up to fight Ozma, if I remember correctly, you couldn't even attack it. I think you could only use items or something like that. And then there was a side quest you could do out in the world that would unlock the ability to use the attack command. Then there was a side quest that unlocked the ability to use the magic command. And so you had to do all these side quests before you could even put a dent in that motherfucker. And then once you did all the side quests, it still fucked you up.
Yeah.
Because it could randomize one out of any move in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it could get, like, death on your whole party, you're fucked.
Yep.
Unless you had the ability to stop it.
But anywho, that's a history lesson for the younger players who, again, which kills me. It was Final Fantasy IX, and I'm like, yeah, the younger players might not have played it. If you haven't, it just came out for your cell phones a few months ago. It's fucking awesome. But anyway, next up, so a little bit of news, a little bit of update on Millie's bird farms. Millie, Tessa, who wants to take this one?
Millie died.
Okay, well, there's just not a lot of interest lately, and they haven't happened the past, I guess, couple of weeks or so, because things have just been happening in my life as well as in the game. So as of right now, they are on hold until further notice. So if you want them to continue, please let me know, or any officer know, so they can let me know. And if the interest is revived, we'll continue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because people want those birds. I want that Bismarck.
I want the bird. Oh, take a little gander in the game. I'll just show you the bird. Boosh.
Your face.
Boosh.
Shut your face. No, Billy. No. AFK. I am AFK.
So I actually have a question. Has anything, since I haven't begun the hunt for the birds yet, is there any sort of end goal to the birds like there was with the ponies? Like, is there some sort of
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Oh,
You're answering the question. I'm all about it. What's up?
Uh,
God damn you,
there
Jen.
It has been like rumored that there will be like a cure-in for the birds.
Yeah. Well, I guess I wonder what it would be. I mean, I'm sure
Probably
it'll have
some
to be.
big
It'll have to
fucking
be.
rainbow bird.
It'd be fucking
Yeah,
sweet if it was
rainbow
like.
bird.
I'd be sweet if it was Phoenix. Just give me Phoenix.
Oh,
Like,
there you go.
Yes,
that'd be dope as fuck. I would love to walk. I would love to walk or ride around on fucking Louis Suave's back. Spoiler alert. For anybody who hasn't cleared 2-year-old content.
That is naughty.
You son of a bitch.
Your video started loading for a second after you said that. I was like, did he just cut out? Did he literally just walk because I said that? Holy shit. Yeah, I guess I didn't stop.
It's all your fault.
I guess I didn't stop to consider the fact you like. Have you not cleared Crystal Tower yet? Have you had a chance to go back?
Not yet.
Oh man, I so
We're on Circus Tower.
I want
haven't
to
done it
go
either.
with you, and that's why I haven't pushed it because I want to go with you. It's such a good story.
We'll do it all together. It'll be the podcast run.
Oh, dude, it's such a good story.
And then we can start drinking during it and make it the drunk
There
podcast.
you go. There you go.
I'm not
So-
going with that.
Alcoholism.
I was
Shut
just
up,
gonna say,
Garrido.
now everyone's gonna think I'm an alcoholic.
Right?
Wasted.
Millie.
So
You're supposed to be
next
very-
up- Sorry, I'm gonna pull us on it because we have a tendency to wander and we got a lot of stuff
We
to
do.
cover. So I'm gonna try to rate us
Yep.
in. I'm gonna pull us up to actually there's this while this show is easily the finest way to disseminate information to the free company, and everybody knows it. There's another equally viable, equally cool option for you to get information out to all of the crew. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, man. So we talked a little bit about it last time, and it's something we've been literally just talking about since, before Christmas break. And it is the booty call. And the booty call is going to be a blog / newspaper / this is what's happening in the booty. But it's not going to be the serious stuff. It's going to be like, so last week in A8 Savage, so-and-so stole so-and-so's wife. You know, like that kind of thing. Like,
So it's
seriously,
gonna be a rag. It's gonna be a dirt sheet, is what you're saying.
It's good. Yeah,
I know.
completely.
And all the talks we'd had about this, all the conversations I'd heard, I didn't realize that it was going to be a tabloid. That's fantastic.
Yes, it's going to be a blatant tabloid, and it's Carito's idea to begin with. And so we kind of talked about it when we first did it. It was funny because something like that literally happened. We were in some sort of raid, and Wolf Silverblade, his sword was taken by somebody else, which was a huge deal, and he was livid over it. So we were literally going to interview him about how he feels about his sword being taken, and then interview the guy that took his sword and be like, how do you feel because you stole Wolf's sword, that kind of thing.
This all sounds like a really dirty metaphor, by the way.
I know.
But Kirito got scared.
Yeah.
Scared.
He got scared of interviewing Wolf because if you don't know Wolf Silverblade, you learn quite quickly that he's hard to approach. He lives up to his name, but he really is he's a super sweet guy.
So I'm just going to throw out, now that I know this, I have no clue when I would find the time, but boy, if there's any way to apply to write for that thing, I would love to be involved in that creative process. That
Do
sounds
it.
fantastic.
Now it's just me and Millie. Millie's she's an English major, and I love writing. So it's going to be something fun and silly and completely dirty. So if you want to be a part of it, let me know.
I just picture the two of you sitting down with a box of Franzia and getting shit-faced and just writing whatever the fuck you like, writing like potato fucking what do you call those? Like sex fan fiction, like Eorzean fan fiction.
Isa and the Free Company, she does that. She
Really?
writes that. Yes, it's very dirty. It's so good. She had me read it once, and I was like, Isa, what part of my personality made you feel like I would want to read this? I blushed like crazy, and she just giggled. She thought it was hilarious.
You're like, she's like every part of your personality.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I know.
Well, before we jump over into our social events segment, so 3.3 has been out for a few weeks. We talked a little bit earlier about Yi wiping City and the problems inherent in that. But I just kind of want to go around the bend here, and this will give Pat and Jenna an opportunity to talk a little bit too. I want to go around the bend here and kind of talk to everybody about general thoughts on 3.3, and if you have any particular thoughts. So we talked about this before the show started, but there's this proposed jump potion, which is kind of like the big hot button issue right now after the most recent live letter. The idea that Yoshida is considering, not that it's happening, he's considering putting in something like World of Warcraft's jump potion, which would allow a person to essentially purchase a level 60 character. So I'm just going to start on the top left of my screen and start with Tessa. 3.3 thoughts. What do you think?
No, don't freaking do it, please. I played WoW. I played WoW for 8 years, and I loved that game for so long. It was my getaway. I was so into it. I ran a Mythic raiding guild and WoW on the Blood Scout server. Like, I loved that game. However, when they started implementing those jump potions that took the characters straight to level 90, it was really hard to run a Mythic raiding guild with people who were applying with this, like, they got all this gear from going about it the easy way, but they were pleb status. And so you would be, like, interviewing these people, which basically in WoW, when you interview people, you have them run raids with you. And they were terrible. And it was really hard to just say, you're freaking terrible, in the most respectful way possible. But it invited a whole new level of characters into the raiding scene that had no clue what they were doing. And they really just didn't want to level, but they also didn't want to learn how to play their class. And they thought because they were top level with this gear, they should be able to raid. And it was awful.
Kind of reminiscent of like a classic Final Fantasy where like, oh, well, my character's level 99, so really all I got to do is push attack. I got to push attack and you're done. Yeah. Yeah. So, Pat, thoughts on 3.3, buddy?
So far, 3.3 has been a lot of fun. There's been some good content that's been put in. A lot of fun stuff, including Aquapolis. With the jump potion stuff, though,
it's okay. Take a breath.
It feels, yeah. No kidding.
When Millie's not the most anxious one on the show, we're already going downhill fast.
But no, with the jump potion, I think it just introduces that play to win element or pay to win element, not play to win. Which, I mean, it really does dilute the caliber of players that you run with. I mean, you can see that with all of the free MMOs that literally have pay to win to get up to the highest levels. Buy this, buy that. And all of the failing that those do because they really don't have that core fan base.
Well, and I would think that, players are going to have a rude awakening if they take this theoretic jump potion, right? For instance, if they release it release it now, or if they release it at 4.0 and the cap goes up to 70, you get to 70, right? And then you blaze through all this content, and then all of a sudden you have to go and start grinding these things called tomestones. What the fuck? Like, wait, I thought I paid money to get past all of this bullshit. So that's going to be a seriously rude awakening. But David, 3.3, thoughts on the content?
It's all bad. So, like they said, World of Warcraft implemented, shit got really bad. The other day, me and Zaf actually were running a dungeon, one of the newer dungeons. And, I have a parse up, whatever, it's illegal, but...
But you're a rebel. You're a rebel.
Whatever, it's illegal.
I gotta know what my numbers are. So we go in there, and we're on the first pool. It takes, like, couple minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck? I look at the parse. The Dragoon that was there was pooling a quarter of what our tank was, which was Scott. And that's just horrible. So if people are already bad without the boost, I could only imagine what's going to happen after that.
Yeah.
It's just going to get worse.
Yeah, I was really reticent when Heavensward came out. I was like, man, these three classes seem really cool, but they're going to give me a character at level 30 with a full range of level 50 abilities, and I'm going to have to sit down and suss all this shit out. Like, you have, mentally, you have to be really ready for that. So picture, in a game where we're already so fucking overbloated with abilities, and now you just sit down to like, hey, I know this is your first MMO, but just figure all this shit out. People are going to say no. They're just going to go in, they're going to be like, oh, I'm just going to walk up and hit random buttons and let other people kill shit.
Yeah. It's the Dark Knight complex all over again.
Yeah. That's a perfect way to look at it. Millie, 3.3, which, by the way, you can comment on more than the jump potion. I know that that's the hot button issue, but if you had any other thoughts, if you had thoughts on Manderville, on Race Veilger, on any of the other shit, any of the story, anything that happened, feel free. Or you can just shit on the jump potion. I'm fine with that.
Well, I'll tell you that I haven't even unlocked the EX roulette yet. So, I like Aquapolis.
Which one are you missing?
Hullbreaker. I have it unlocked, I just haven't run it.
Well, missing's probably a strong word. You're not missing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
About the jump potion, I hate it because people won't know how to play their character. And as you said, like when you got astrology and all that, when I started playing astrology, I didn't know what the hell any of my abilities did. I had to like test them out and try and figure them out. And I can't imagine getting a character at 60 with all those abilities and trying to figure out what all of them did. Because you kind of have to use them to know what they do. To know. And that'd be terrible. And he shouldn't do it.
Well, at some point when you want to kind of just limp your way bored through a Hullbreaker, I would be happy to help you with that, but you're not going to need any help.
Thank you.
It was an interesting idea for a dungeon from a story perspective, but I won't get into details. But I ran it the first time with Niems and with a couple of, I don't remember who else was with us, but let's just say my wife was finding ways to creatively distract me, and it did not stop me one bit. And she was going out of her way. She made it a point. She's like, I'm going to make this. I'm going to distract you enough that it's going to be almost impossible for you to actually finish this dungeon. And we came through absolutely unscathed with 0 wipes. I got to the end of it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that was mindless. Like I don't remember much of it, but I know that I walked a lot and repeated my rotation a lot.
Well, for you to get through with no wipes with memes, that's something.
Oh.
Last night, not to say anything horrible, but last night, Niems was healing a sunken temple of Karn, and we wiped like 4 times.
One of those was my fault.
What are you looking at me like that for? I didn't give them any details. Plus, no, I gave them no. Go sit down. My wife is giving me a dirty look for bringing up that.
Oh, that's.
The free J. Nice.
Man, what are you gonna do?
That's one less free J for you.
How much? No, go sit down. We'll talk about this later. Come in here for a second.
At length.
Come in here for a second and say hi. Oh my God! All right. Well, anyone who listens to the Zero Lies podcast, my lovely wife, my co-host Brittany, she is now giving me a dirty look, and she is upset with me because I told a story. Which, by the way, she asked about 7 times after it happened. Have you told anyone about that yet? Because it was super awesome of me. Aren't I just the coolest? Aren't I just the coolest wife? Yes.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah. All right. I love you. All right. Talk to you later. So Jen. Thoughts on 3.3?
Well, it came out with one of my favorite dungeons ever, which is Sorkai.
Yeah, I do like that place a lot. It's gorgeous.
They did a very fantastic job in it.
I still don't understand the last boss from that place, but okay.
Well, did anyone else just think that the design of, just the design of all of the new areas, obviously aside from Hullbreaker, because you run through it exactly the same way, the designs are fantastic. Like the Weeping City is fucking beautiful. Like I don't know that I've ever seen anything so beautiful.
Very creative.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Oh, come on.
Did anybody else feel like a badass when you got to ride around Horace Vilgar's back? Because I did.
Oh, yeah. I took screenshots. We're looking at each other like, what's up?
Well, I love anytime you can just notice like cool little details and you see like the depth of work that gets put into the design of some of this stuff. Like one I always remember reading about online, then going to check because it was so cool is in the World of Darkness, right? From back in the 2.0 days, you go to the World of Darkness and in the opening cutscene, and when you first spawn in, you see that giant black and purplish orb floating in the sky, right? It looks like a dark sun, and then you get to the end and you find out that is the Cloud of Darkness, and you fight her. Did you know that if you backtrack to the beginning of the dungeon, that's gone? They actually went so far as to remove it from the sky at the beginning of the dungeon, just in case someone decided they wanted to walk all the way back. And I always thought that was really cool. And this was in the Weeping City especially was a lot like that. I love when you go. What's the name of the second boss in Weeping City? The guy who does Megadeth.
The Necromancer?
Yeah, whatever his name was. Have you ever noticed there's that awesome like spooky pyramid in the background, right? Have you ever stopped and looked up and noticed that Ozma is actually on top of that, like watching your fight with him?
Really? No,
Yes.
I never did that.
When you go into the fight, before you pull stop and look up, and just before the peak of the pyramid, there's an opening that almost looks like a top level of the pyramid, right? And up there, Ozma is floating there. It's just floating there and spinning like a badass, waiting, taunting you with all the times you are going to wipe to it. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to go around the bend and talk 3.3. We'll do the same thing after next month after the Palace of the Dead comes out. But for right now,
Should I be the only one that says that the jump potion could be a good thing?
Oh shit! Nope. If that's it's a controversial statement, say it. Yes, say it.
Okay, I think it could. Shut up, Millie. Okay, I think it could be a good thing if they gave it to a character that is already peaked at 60. Like if you already have your main at 60 and you're like, well, I don't really want to grind out dungeons forever, then they could take you to 60. You'd still have to learn the class to get better, but you'd still have your main at 60. So it could be a good thing.
That's
but
true,
it could also be a bad thing.
Where are you going to practice your rotation?
Stone, Sky, and
Yeah!
Sea.
Oh,
Why they
Especially,
it.
yeah.
Sorry, you mentioned Stone, Sky, and Sea as being useful, and that kind of hurt my brain a little bit.
In a way, it is kind of useful.
Well, I mean, I will say I've used it once or twice because being a PS4 player, I don't have any way to check my DPS other than that goofy little calculator someone put online. So that's the closest I can actually get to checking it. So I've used it for that before. But aside from that, oh god, practicing a rotation on a dummy, that hurts my brain.
We use it to gauge to see if people are ready to run our raid content.
So hang on a second.
So-
You go there and you stand around them in a circle and
Yes, I
watch them
do.
attack. Oh god, that would be nerve-wracking.
It's not that bad.
We judged them.
As long as you don't suck.
Is there
We
is there
judge
any
them
sort of
hard.
like judgmental emote you can just stare at them like you're disappointed the whole time?
You just stare at them with your arms crossed and just
Yeah.
stare. Or you ride around on your Ravana bird and then you watch them from the top of the little.
Fuck your Ravana bird.
And my Bexbird.
Just so you know that if I'm there, I'm usually cheering you on, like, yeah, go!
Can I ask actually the next time you do that? Can you just take pictures of that for me? Because I bet that's fantastic. Just all of you standing around in a circle, judging the fuck out of somebody, and who's like clearly sweating all over the training dummy because they want so badly to clear it. That's fantastic.
But just so everybody knows, we are not harsh when it comes to rating.
Well, you can say that with a straight face.
Oh my gosh.
We're pretty harsh when it comes to rating.
Well, given that she doesn't have a cam on, her face is always straight because it's never moving. There's just this picture. There's just this weird picture of like puckered lips that looks like you just ate a really sour like
Well,
orange
guess
or some
who's
shit.
never using a cam now, you jerk.
Yeah. As long as you make that face the whole time, like when it switches to your camera, if you're still doing that thing, that face, I'm fine with it.
I'm leaving the call.
Oh. Well, you can't leave the call. You can't leave the call, and this is why. Because now we're moving over into our social events portion of the show, which as always is brought to us by the FC sweetheart, Miliana Gray herself. So I'd like you to take some time to run down this list. Do you have your outline open in front of you?
No.
Why did I feel like I had to ask that? I knew I did. Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Twice I am.
Wonderful. So talk to me a little bit about some upcoming social events.
Well, as you all know, Isa has her lewd contest coming up on July 26th. We don't know too much info about it because it's all her. This is her plan. So if you have any questions, run it by her and she'll answer them for you. Then we have the crafting fair, which we are planning sometime in early August. It's still to be determined. We don't want to have it too close to Ease's event because we don't want to clutter the calendar. And then we have the ball and the bash, which we're still planning some details on that, but there will be contests and chances to win much goodies.
Much skill will be had.
Yes, much skill and much fun will be had.
For a second, I thought you said much guilt will be had. I was like, oh shit, how dirty is it going to get?
Oh, it will be
It's
dirty.
gonna get very, very dirty.
It wouldn't be booty without being dirty. I mean, did you see the picture of me?
Oh my gosh.
Better yet, I heard you on your birthday. That was more than enough. Just being on TeamSpeak on your birthday, even for like the hour and a half that I was, before things got really raw, that was enough.
You know, it was fun. But we are going to have, after every single event, a screenshot contest that people can enter. Just take pictures throughout the event and post them. And the best ones will win more stuff. So it's an opportunity for people who didn't win anything to win something. It will be gil. Lots of gil. We will shower you.
Yeah, we'll be putting up posts after each event. Like, if you took any screenshots, put them here, and then the screenshot with the most likes gets lots of kills.
Just expect lots of posts on these events in the future.
Quick question before we move on to the next event. Does someone have a fan on? It sounds like someone is breathing like uncomfortably heavily directly into their mouth.
It might be me because I have like 4 fans.
Okay.
Well, I know
No,
if
it's
there's
fine.
water in the background, I have a fountain going.
As long as
so-
as long as nobody's dying, because I can't see all of your faces, and it sounded like a fat kid at the top of a staircase.
Is this better? Wow.
Yes, it is.
I'm blocking my mic from the wind.
It sounded like you swallowed your mic
I just
in
kept
that
hearing.
moment.
Fine. It's really hot in my room, so I have to have
Believe me.
I
feel you, girl.
I feel you 100%. It doesn't matter. It was a small thing, but it was gonna bug me for the rest of the show.
I'm sorry about a fat kid.
So, I guarantee you, I was the fattest fat kid in this group. There was no kid that was fatter than me. So I get to make those jokes. I earned those jokes. But what else have we got as far as we've got a couple other social events, right?
We also got the sea shanty contest. We still need lots of entries. Don't be afraid to apply. It's all for fun.
Yeah.
Be as fun and great as possible. And you don't have to make up your own like little jig to it. You can put it to another song. Just replace the lyrics. So.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty important to point out. Like, we're not expecting you to compose actual music, right?
No.
Taking
It's
that pressure off people.
You could do it to like the SpongeBob theme. Just there you go.
I would say extra points. I mean, don't get me wrong, this isn't a real thing, but my thought is extra points if you can do it to some kind of Final Fantasy music.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
But we want to. It's got to be a pirate theme.
Yes. So pirate themed. I think it's safe to say that it can be as clean, dirty, or indifferent as you want. I've got a couple of things here in our outline that my thought is that we could post with the contest to give people an idea. And we could find more. I just pulled up a couple of my favorite sea/pirate shanties that I've found. Another thing you can look up actually. Apparently, I never played it, but apparently Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is like full of those things.
Yeah.
There's like 40 of them in there, and people have compiled them all into one YouTube video. So that's kind of like more the classic like sailor working songs. But what I did want to do really quick, just to give people sort of an idea of one direction they could go in, is play probably my personal favorite, which is the adult version of Barnacle Bill the Sailor here on the show. It's about 5 minutes, so I won't play the whole thing, but I am going to take a second here to go ahead and run this for you, just so you can get an idea, because I think everybody here has listened to it, right? I sent you out links. Okay.
It's nice.
Totally did.
I did not.
Not.
Who's that knocking at my door? Who's that knocking at my door? Who's that knocking at my door? Said the fair young maiden.
Well,
Open the door, you fucking whore, said Barnacle Bill the sailor. Open the door, you dirty old horse, said Barnacle Bill the sailor.
Shall we go to the dance? Shall we go to the dance? Shall we go to the dance? Said the fair young maiden.
Well, to hell with the dancing, down with your pants, said Barnacle Bill the sailor. To hell with the dancing, down with your pants, said Barnacle Bill the sailor.
What's that thing between your legs? What's that thing between your legs? What's that thing between your legs? Said the fair young maiden.
Well, it's only me pole to stick up your hole, said Barnacle Bill the sailor. It's only me pole to shove up your hole, said Barnacle Bill the sailor.
What's that stuff around your pole? What's that
So there you
stuff
have it, a little bit of Barnacle
around
Bill
your
the Sailor,
pole?
just to give everybody an idea again of where this could go. We're clearly open to filth, but I would think the prerequisites, if you really want to appease the good captain in this contest, I would think would be one, that it's entertaining in some fashion. Two, that it'd be nice if it was about the FC. I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but it'd be super nice if it was about the FC. But aside from that, just go nuts. And when are we actually picking the winner on that?
I think I said in the thing that we'd announce it August 3rd.
And
I might be wrong about that.
Is there a deadline for submissions?
Yes, it's the same day.
Last minute.
No, I figured the deadline, and then we'd pick that day. I mean, why not? And then the next time we run the podcast, we would just announce the winner.
I think you're forgetting the fact that we're going to have hundreds upon hundreds of submissions for this thing, and you're going to spend your whole day listening to the darkness and filth that exists inside the minds of your free company.
Good. I am excited about it. And it's not just free company. It is server-wide.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You did extend the invite, didn't you?
I did. So all of Genova.
That is awesome. All right, so let's. I want to kick it back. Excuse me, back to Millie for 1 second. Do we have any other upcoming social events, or should we get right over into our Better Know a Matey segment? Oh, yes.
Birthday.
Do it.
We got Mariana's today, and then Scott's is on the 24th. Kirita is on the 3rd of August. Just to let you all know. I stalked you.
The 3rd of August, so like probably the day the next episode drops, or somewhere around that area.
Kirita, get some alcohol, because that's happening.
Nice. Okay. Well, if is that the last of them?
Yeah.
Awesome. So then I say we definitely ought to kick it over into our Better Know a Matey segment. So we've talked a lot about bringing people onto the show, bring members of the FC onto the show to really talk to them about their experiences in the FC and kind of spotlight them the way that Tessa already does on the website, correct?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. She's so distracted right now. Sorry, there's some fun shit going on in the background, which I think is why we should record this at some point. But
that's actually Scott. Scottador, our man of war.
As in Scottador Dragonsbane?
What a hero.
Wow.
That is him, and that's Staff in the
The
background.
man,
Okay,
the
and
myth, the legend.
there's Master Chief. We also hang out.
He's also a man of war.
I would expect no less from my men of war.
Okay, so first,
Not wearing pants.
I think of the two of them first. We should probably talk a little bit to Niems, mostly because Jen is going to weigh very heavily into our next segment. So
I'll be quiet.
you don't have to be, but you're gonna get grilled. You're gonna get grilled by one of your men of wars.
Grilled.
Men's of war.
I expect no less from my men of war.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So, you know what? I'm actually going to kick this over to the captain to kind of chat a little bit with Niems about his experience, because I know she is she has a larger depth of knowledge on the subject than I do. So let him have it, Captain.
Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, we recently changed up the way that we did things, and we did kind of an election. And for the election process, we took the nominees for people from those that we thought would be good for estate material, and we interviewed them. and we kind of asked them questions that the other first mates and myself came up with. And then we posted the questions and the answers on Facebook for people to vote on. Out of those who got the most votes, we had them come and sit in on an officers meeting, and just to kind of get a feel of how they would fit in with our group and how we felt about them. And then we ended up choosing, and we chose Niems here as our first mate. Woo! That is disgusting. That's Karina.
Oh my god.
Karina!
It was taken off the website, but you can't take it off my Skype.
So anyway,
How do I get rid of this? So for our listeners, again, since this is not a visual medium, we now have a picture that I guess is pulled directly from the website of what looks like a stitched together Frankenstein penis that's on fire, and also ejaculating.
yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got all of that correct.
Did you get the slogan though?
Well, you know what? I didn't, because it's taking up so much of my screen. Hang on a second. It's sizable, guys. It's sizable. So it says Man of War power. We fuck because we care, and there's a mighty mane on this as well. I just want to point out the fact that
It really is.
yeah,
Like,
somebody
it's
could use a
huge.
trim. Somebody could use a trim.
It would fit in Australia.
I'd floss my teeth with those.
Oh,
How do I make it go away?
computer
Yeah, no,
explode.
seriously.
I'll get it off.
Oh, really? Really?
At least someone else picked up on that.
After you see that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
I'm
It's
so
so
happy
small.
that I can't see
I feel like we're gonna have to post these images. We're gonna have to post them somewhere in reference to the show, because
That, sir,
otherwise, who can enjoy it?
is a blue
No.
waffle.
Yeah, we are not posting that image.
Yeah.
We're not posting that image.
Google at your own risk.
Do
Okay.
not.
So anyway, I guess the question I would want to know from Niems is how he felt about the whole process, how he felt when he was approached with the prospect of being a first mate, and how he felt about the questions that we asked, and then the selection process, that kind of thing.
I guess I was a little bit surprised at first. Wasn't really expecting it, but was really, really happy. It was something that I was really interested in, but wasn't sure that my time commitment was up to snuff or anything like that, or that everything was in place at first. And you also caught me at Comic-Con, so I was completely out of context and out of place at first. So like I was really honored by it. Once we started getting into the questions, I felt that the first mates gave out really, really good questions, first of all. And I felt once everything started getting published, because I felt pretty good about my answers originally. And then once everything started going up on Facebook and I got to see some of the other answers, I was like, oh crap. Everyone's really, really good at these answers.
Yeah.
So after the first question was released, I had huge amounts of doubt. I was like, oh my god, what did I get myself into? But as things went on, and more questions were released, and everybody was voting, and when it finally came down to Isa and myself, it was a really good feeling. It was one of those, I mean, just knowing that so many people in the free company, in this family basically, were on the same thought process that I was. It really felt good. Not gonna lie, the officers meeting that the two of us went into to see if we fit in, that was nerve-wracking at first. absolutely nerve-wracking. I think I have like 9 pages of notes or something from that one meeting. But it was a nice experience, and I was really, really honored to be selected.
So I do just want to take a second to point out just something I personally, based on my personal history with Niems, aka Pat, I think everyone should know, is that his job. It's a job that it's at a place I used to work at, right? And I'm not going to get too detailed, but his job is super duper demanding as far as time. He practically lives where he works, and so one, for him to find the time to actually contribute to the point where the request was even made, I think is fantastic. But I just want to throw out the fact that when Niems Niemandious helps you do something in game, he is giving the precious little time that he has, and that he could be doing. There are a lot of other things he could be doing for his own progression, but he's putting that aside to help you out with content, and I think that that's something that should definitely be appreciated. That's just something I wanted to throw in there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're making me blush, Troy. Making me blush.
Well, I would like to throw out there that the whole reason why he was chosen, which is a little known fact, and I'll kind of let you in on a little secret. Niems was my original nomination. Like, the first mates were all nominating somebody because we knew we needed a new first mate, and I was like, what about Niems? And the reason why I said that was because he is so incredibly helpful. Whenever he's on, he's down to help peeps. He's answering questions in FC chat. He's very active in chat. He's active around the FC house. If anybody needs anything, they usually know that they can go to him in the first place. And so I felt like he would be a great first mate, but I really didn't understand the depth of it until we asked the questions, which was why I was glad that we started implementing that, because I got to know these people on such a deeper level, and to see how much they care about the FC was incredible. Because I care about this FC tremendously, but just to see how much our members really care about the FC too, especially Niems, it was really heartwarming to see that. So I feel like the FC made the right choice. I feel like we made the right choice, and I'm just going to get down to it and say I think I made the right choice.
I will honestly say that when she nominated Niems, I didn't know him very well. So
Yeah.
just like, I'm unsure, but I wasn't against it because I trust Aya, and some of the other officers were like, yeah, Niems would be great. And after reading his answers, he did win me over, and since then he's been like awesome as an officer.
Yeah.
Aw, you two
And he
embarrassed
got
the hell
drunk
out
on
of me.
my birthday.
Super drunk on your birthday, Millie.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, what else did you think you were here for, buddy? I'm pretty sure the whole point of this Better Know a Matey segment is to bring people on and make them feel appreciated, make them understand why they are appreciated within the FC. Because the people that are going to be covered in this segment are not picked arbitrarily. I think that Millie and I are bringing them that are really sitting down and talking about who to really showcase and highlight. And it's going to be hard because it's going to take a long time to get around to a good number of people, but I'm sure that if you're logging on, you're contributing, then I'm sure at some point your name will at least be discussed. But that's the whole point, buddy.
Definitely.
We love you.
Yep. We love you.
And now I'm going to go back to making fun of you.
Oh,
If you ever
I-
want to light a fucking couple of car and just invite Niems to heal, he'll do it for you.
thanks, Millie. Thanks, Millie.
You're welcome.
All right. So now that we have all sort of collectively finished on Niems' face and chest area, in a way that leaves us all satisfied. I want to move over. I want to move over a little bit to Jen, because we have another promotion, right? And I think to me,
Yay! Someone else.
let me know if there's another way you want to handle this. But to me, we talked about this beforehand. I think the best way to handle this is to turn this over to Carito and to let him really take us through who this person is, what her new position is, how she factors into the free company, as if you don't fucking know already, and then go through our standard raid info section so we can talk about what's going on in the world of raiding in the Pirate Bay Free Company.
What if I don't want to answer Kirita's questions?
Really quick.
That is certainly your right as an individual. That's all I can really
You
say.
have to, because really quick, the whole idea for Jen's position as an overseer was actually an idea that Carito came to me with a long time ago. And I was skeptical of putting in an overseer because I wasn't sure how it would work with the other Man of War, because if you don't know this, the Man of War is a position with people who are very serious about raiding. They're very serious about the game. So they're generally headstrong people. And I was like, I don't know. But Greedo came to me with the idea. It kind of sat there, and it sat there, and it sat there. And Jen proved herself as somebody who could really take this position and run with it. So I think it's only appropriate that Greedo's the one asking her these questions.
Well, and we did. We mentioned this when we met in prep for this show last week. I do want to, and I mentioned this to her before, but just to throw it out to everybody, I was lucky enough to sit in TeamSpeak on Millie's birthday and listen to everyone preparing to go into the Weeping City, and listening to just a bunch of drunk people screaming and going nuts, and Snow just sitting there very calmly, keeping everyone in check, keeping if nothing else, she's keeping everything moving forward while everyone else is talking about dicks and whose dick should have gone where that particular night. Jen was like, guys, we're gonna get in here. We need this, and this, and she was keeping everything in order. So after that conversation, I thought to myself, man, if she looks at the 24-man like dick roll raid content like that, I am sure that when she's taking people into Savage, that it's fucking fantastic. So
yeah.
Now, sorry, turning it over to Kirito.
And I was drinking that night too.
It did not show.
You may be my boss, but right now you're in our podcast.
Okay,
So
I'm
listen
fine.
up.
I bow to you. Please, Lord Podcast, tell me what you know.
Jen, what can you bring to us Man of War and all Raiders for this FC as an overseer?
Well, I don't understand the question.
The first fucking one. Wonderful.
Good job, Kira.
Okay. What talents can you bring that no one else could fulfill as overseer that you can't?
Well, she has boobs.
I own boobs.
Those
and
are
I do
true.
love mouth hugs. But
And it's okay.
besides that,
Did not expect that.
The
So
cherry
I'm nervous.
sips?
jokes.
Dead air.
I know. Jen!
I love how you pulled out boobs and mouth hugs like that, but then when you have to get serious about talking about yourself, it's just silence.
Let's go to another question.
Let's
we'll
cut
come
to the
back to
next
that.
one.
Think about that one.
I'm back, yeah.
Put a pin in it.
How has it been being the overseers so far?
Well, I don't look at it as what words are hard. I don't look at it like I'm like over the Men of War. I just want to work with the Men of War. I just want to like get people going and progressing through this content, rather than sitting there idly and stagnant, and the statics aren't doing anything, and people are getting rusty and out of practice. So it's been kind of fun.
You can't see this, but he's making a very satisfied face with her answer.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
noticing
can
all
appreciate
like I
this.
wish everyone could see it, because you're doing like this hand, you're doing like the Italian mobster hand. Like if she doesn't answer you soon, there's gonna be repercussions.
Yes. Now, Jen,
Yes.
do you think that us as Man of War are good where we are at, or do you think recruiting should be done sometime in the future?
Ooh.
Depends. If we get our statics progressing farther than A5S and A6S, then I see recruiting as a good option. But it has to be somebody that really fits the bill. They have to want to raid. They have to want to do the things I need them to do. Like if we need a substitute, they need to go find a substitute. Or if they're not going to be there, they need to go find their own substitute.
Mhm.
But recruiting in the future would be nice. It would give us more help. But right now, I think the four of us are doing very well.
What do you think about recruiting people into the FC just for the purpose of raiding? How would you go about getting that out to the people in the server?
I think, honestly, just talking to people when you build when you build up relationships with people, you can see kind of what they're good at. Or if you run stuff with people, take Thoughtful Falafel, for example. We didn't know that he was a really good healer until we ran with him one day, and then we're like, hey, we need you in our statics because you are a great healer. When you run with people and then you realize that, hey, they have potential, you can talk to them about maybe like, hey, listen, we really could use your set skill in a static that we're currently building, and then they could come over and we could build upon that way. But we do need people that want to raid, and we want people to know that it's not a scary thing to raid. We do have we do have beginner raiders too, where they're going to start learning the process a little more slower, but they'll still be able to run the content.
These are very good answers, Jen. I approve. Now back to the first one.
God. Okay, what I can bring.
Why do you maybe we phrase it this way? Why do you think you were made overseer? If you had to look at yourself completely objectively.
Rating is what I get on the game for. I want to improve myself and I want to improve others. I want to see other people flourish in that environment. I want to see other people that want to do that get good at that. If they want to raid and you can tell that they have the drive to progress. They're constantly running content. They're constantly trying to get out there. I envy that. I started off in WoW in Tessa's raiding guild, and I learned a new class like almost overnight just because the static needed that. Or the raiding guild needed that. And I want people that want to do that too. Like in WoW. Wow. In Final Fantasy, when I was first recruited into a static, they needed a healer because the healer decided he didn't want to raid at the time. So I stayed up for 3 days straight and got my healer to 60 just so I could heal with the static so they would run. But yeah, I want to see people with the drive to do it, and if they have the drive to do it, then I want to aid them and give them the tools to move forward and progress.
Now, to jump on that real quick, when you were in Tessa's raiding guild and you transferred classes like overnight, did you use that buy potion?
I did not.
Okay, I'm just double checking there. I wanted some fire against you.
I did the old-fashioned way and went and killed like boars in the fucking back.
Nice.
I just want to throw out that I like this. David's he's really good at grilling people. I think he might have to do the interviews for the foreseeable future.
Ooh.
Nice.
I'm a little wet right now.
I expect
that is your go-to.
I was gonna say what else is different?
Yeah.
So you're wet constantly.
Anyone
It's
who
like
hasn't
a
had the
constant state
chance
of
to
being.
actually text or send instant messages with David, he is always wet. That is almost always. I at this point when I send on my lunch break at work, when I send out a message about the show, I almost always expect the first thing I'm gonna get back is I am so wet right now, and it brings a smile to my heart and to my penis.
I love it. I love it. I do what I can.
Either I'm so wet right now or something about a penis.
No, or my nipples look like milk duds. That's his go-to. Or anal beads. He likes anal beads.
Anal beads.
Anal beads.
As my overseer, I would expect you to know that.
Yeah, you did actually say right before we started the show, when you double checked if we were recording tonight, you told me that when I confirmed it for you, you said, "Great, I will get out the analysis beads." I think was actually you got auto corrected. And for a second, I thought to myself that was incredibly clever because of your role in tonight's episode. But then I just realized it was autocorrect.
Yeah.
We're almost smart there, Kyria. Almost.
Maybe one day.
You can't talk to me like that. Jen's my overseer.
I'm your overseer, and I say she can talk to you like that.
Oh.
I got more questions than Jen. No, that's all I got.
So before we move on from talking to Jen, there were a couple of things that we spoke about in preparation for the show. You kind of covered off one of those, which was really stressing to possible raiders that the FC and really the Men of War are perfectly willing to take in new raiders and take them under their wing and to teach them. But you had talked about a couple of other things about certain raiding needs. Did you want to go through any of that? Like what does our raiding community actually need right now?
Right now we're currently looking for tanks. We need tanks. We need tanks that are willing to not be scared and come to us, that want to tank. We need more DPS. Right now, the thing we have the most of is healers, and unless we want to run a static full of healers, we need other things.
Yeah.
Okay, you had also mentioned that there are currently 2 statics, correct? And that they have been completely revamped. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Like, do you want me to tell you who's in the statics? Because I can do that too.
No, sure. I don't know. I mean, is there you had stressed to me when we talked about it. You had stressed to me that they had been completely revamped, and that led me to believe that was something you felt it was important that people know. I don't know if that's because we had some assholes in them before, or there were just some hardcore bads that you've taken out behind fucking Little Alamigo and buried. I'm not really sure.
Well, Kirita wasn't static.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Okay. The first static, we had individuals that could clear the content. Everybody was a great raider, but they just didn't synergize well together.
Yeah.
So we took them and we separated everybody, and we looked at who we had, and then we looked at the new raiders that had come in, and we came up with 2 full statics and one that is starting to form. The first static has Silas and Wolf Silverblade tanking. The first, it also has me and Millie healing. Niems is in that static. Ryu, Reap, and Sugo are all in. The second static has Kirito and Sweets. It also has Diabetes and
Fat and Tito tanking.
And it has, actually, we had a change up. It has Fawful Falafel, and it has Zaf Hikari tanking, and Tara Gerson is another DPS in that. The third forming static has Tessa in it, and she needs another healer buddy.
I do. Not a white mage.
We have a lot of white mages, but we have no healer buddy to go with Tessa at the moment. And we have David currently in that as well, and it's still forming.
Yeah, so I think it's important to throw out those names. Just you guys can't be on all the time, right? And it's nice to know who else is raiding, so that you at least have that link. So if someone who's listening is interested in raiding, they can come to one of the people in the lists that they just heard, and at the very least say, hey, pass the word on to your man of war, your overseer. Pass the word. Let them know that I'm interested in getting down, Charlie Brown. So I think that's really it. Guys, I think that's really everything we wanted to cover off in this episode, unless anyone feels like there's something I've missed.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course you can.
Yeah, I know I don't really want to talk, but I do want to say one more thing. If you're a raider, could you please, I ask at least 2 hours in advance if you're not going to be there, for the person I'm subbing in for you, and for the other 7 people that are depending on you. So if you're not going to be there, at least 2 hours of notification would be nice.
That brings me to my thing that I was going to bring up really quick before we left. Going up on the website this week is going to be a set of FC rules. It's not going to be anything like super crazy business, like wear pink on Mondays and that kind of thing, but it'll just be about respecting people and what we expect out of our other members, be friendly, courteous, that kind of thing. But that being said, there's also going to be some raid rules put up. So it's going to mention if you can't make it at least 2 hours in advance to let the other men of war know that you can't make it. Be there 10, 15 minutes early so that you have time to get your food, get repaired, that kind of thing. So just there's going to be some FC rules going up as well as some raid rules. And we're even going to have like a little section of TeamSpeak rules just so we don't have some nasty trolls in there and people that decide to be buttholes, which there really aren't any buttholes in booty right now, because usually when we find the buttholes, we kick them the F out.
How did you find a booty without a butthole? That's all I want to know.
Very rare.
Magician, remember.
I'd like to do a call out before we leave.
Yeah.
To 3 sheets. We're fucking awesome.
3 sheets.
Remember that Kiss of Death?
I believe Kiss of Death has progressed farther than the 3 sheets.
Oh,
also,
if I had a
Kiss of
towel, I'd
Death
spin it over my head.
Stacked as fuck.
Whatever.
Stacked.
I can't help it. We're so good. Get good, Kirita.
Yeah, so
The tool.
I just wanted to
Must.
applaud you, actually, Jen, after and I mean that, after the comment you made about the importance of letting people know in advance. Like I'm not a raider. We talked about that on the show, but I can tell you that sounds very similar to putting together a podcast with a number of different people. And one of the single most frustrating things that I deal with is texts 30 minutes before we're supposed to hit record saying I'm not going to be there. It's like, motherfucker, what do you expect me to do then? So that's fantastic. Just know, Jen was really sweet about it. I'm gonna be a little bit more, a little bit meaner. If you do that, I'm not even a raider, but if you do that, you're an asshole. You're just being an asshole. It's that simple. You are being a fucking asshole. Be respectful of your fellow raiders because you're all trying to do a job together and give your early notice. But that being said, unless anyone's got anything else, I think we can move into plugs. So if anybody's got contact emails, any way you wanna get out there for people to get in touch with you, Twitch streams, websites, if you shake a cup for quarters on a fucking street corner in Manhattan on the weekends, let us know what corner that is. We're gonna start on the top left of my screen with Capn Aya. Go.
On the Booty website now, there is a section for streams, which if you hit that, the first live stream that's up will pop up, and usually if we're raiding, one of us raiders is going to have that up there on the Booty website. So if you're curious about how raids go to the Booty website whenever we are raiding. There will be a stream up there. If you have a stream and you stream Final Fantasy XIV when you play, and you would like it on the Booty website, please let me know. Aya, you can send me an in-game mail. You can send me a tell. You can send me on Facebook. I'm everywhere. It's easy to get a hold of me, I promise.
That's actually a really awesome offer, just for anyone who is considering it. You're getting tapped directly into a built-in audience. Just throwing that out. That's right.
Exactly. So I got a message from the new person in the FC, Estrella Nix, and they said, "Hello there, Captain. I just wanted to mention how much I really enjoyed the brand new podcast you guys launched. Being pretty much a new member to the FC and to the game, it was really nice to hear about all of you and your previous experiences while building this massive family and community. I really do feel that everybody has a place here, no matter how large the FC is. I hope to see that this family keeps growing and keeps making more people feel like not all MMOs have to be intimidating, especially when joining a guild, FC, whatever. Best wishes, Estrella Nix."
All right, Patrick, you're the next. You're next on my screen. Niems, Niemandious, what have you got to plug, buddy? Aside from your butt.
That's reserved only for you.
What?
Whoa.
I told you we have history. And Millie, I'm sorry that someone else is touching his holes before you. I'm sorry.
Ow!
First name is silence.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm a horrible person.
You're letting someone else's pee-pee touch your bubble.
Oh, we never said it was his pee-pee.
We were trying to be gentlemen and leave it up to interpretation, but you just went there.
Yeah.
I went straight there.
Take it all the way. Pee-pee to the butthole.
Well, that's usually what Karudas does.
I'm a fiend. I'm a fiend.
This is awkward
But
now.
I have this odd feeling that you don't actually have anything to plug right now. So we're gonna go.
No, I have absolutely nothing to plug.
No worries, because you know what? He pours his heart and soul into the game, and that's why he's our new first mate. So show him some love.
If anyone does have anything that they want to run, hit me up if I'm in game. I'm always willing to help.
All right, Kirito, you are up.
Yeah, I don't got crap.
Nice. All right, I love it.
The stream.
Oh, my stream's on the BootyFC.com.
Yeah, it's on the site.
For a second, I thought you were pointing at the logo on your shirt, but I feel stupid now.
Oh, Blazing
just
Wing
nipples.
Challenge? Yeah, I'm a
Did you
fucking
win?
wing god.
No, he's a
Yes.
survivor. He says he's a survivor. You don't win something like that. You survive. All right. So next up, Miss Kiwis and Mangles herself, Miliana Gray. What have you got?
Just a reminder for the sea chanty. If you want to submit anything, email it to bootyfcgenova@gmail.com.
Yes, please.
Please send your stuff.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. I really that's one I hope I hope all of our shit goes well, but that one to me it just feels like it could be so funny and so much fun and like it's just send in some filth that we can make these girls recite on the show.
It doesn't even have to rhyme. Don't worry about rhyming. It can be like free verse stuff. Just has to go to music.
Rap that is.
Yeah, it could be postmodern.
It's
Never rap
5
it.
million. Listen, it's 5 million gil for first prize. So like, if nobody else enters and you just enter in some crap, you get 5 million gil. it's 1 million gil to the 2 runners up. So if 3 people enter and you're one of those 3 people, either way, you're gonna get the thing. Like,
You don't fight the Tessa on that, because if you
Yeah.
do, she'll tell you to bite your pillow because she's coming in dry.
that's right.
Ooh.
And I don't take it easy. All right?
So, yeah, so the winner of this contest is going to be able to make it rain in a serious way.
Oh,
is what we're
yeah.
saying. All right,
Yeah.
so Miss Overseer herself, Jen, Snowfo, because I'm never going to call you Snowfox.
No,
it's never going to happen.
It's
Never going to happen.
much more fun
Bad
to
when you say
say
faux, and a little bit of my heart breaks off and like shatters into a million pieces. And you punch a baby every time you say faux.
Oh, wow. Well, I you know what? I just picture, for some reason I say it, and I picture you as just like a pile of like that fake snow that people put in their living rooms around Christmas time. Like that foamy stuff. Yeah, you're just like a cute little pile of faux snow faux. What have you got to plug, Overseer?
Well, my stream's on the website, but do I have to plug anything else?
No, you don't have to. Let's say go back a few minutes and double down on the very adamant request for what we need in the raiding community in the Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Rewind that sumbitch and listen to it again because we need it.
Yes, we do.
Whoop, 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 whoop. We need tanks and we need DPS.
Oh,
And we
that
need
was
to listen-
rewinding. Oh, you actually did it. That was great. I just realized. That's awesome. All right, so
and we need Peerto to be naked more often. It is a request from the people.
You
Yes.
be naked more often?
In game, yes. In game.
Okay.
On it.
He's not paying attention at all. He is so
No.
in his part's done. He is so into the
Got
FC
it.
chat right now. All right, so I will close this thing out with the standard plugs for myself that you will get very used to, which is come see me, hear me, and everything that me and my people do over at Black Coat Radio. Every Monday you'll get the Zero Lives Video Game Podcast. Every Wednesday you'll get the One Sweet Wrestling Podcast with myself and my partner David. Every Friday, if you like movies, you will get to hear Movie Night with Johnny Cinema. You like movies, they talk about movies, so come listen to them talk about movies. Aside from that, once a month, at the beginning of every month, you're going to get to Captain's Quarters, this dope-ass motherfucking show you just survived, with all the cool motherfuckers here. We're going to have rotating guests for this Better Know a Matey segment, try to keep you up on little bits of news within and without the free company in the world of Eorzea and Final Fantasy XIV at large. Aside from that, I think this is a great show. Thank you again to Pat and Jen for joining us. Congratulations on your new positions.
Thank you so much. And might I say, Troy, you definitely have a face for radio.
Thanks, buddy. All right, and for everyone else here, we will see you next month.
Bye.
Penis.
The Captain's Quarters is the official monthly podcast of the Pirate Bay Free Company of Genova server in Final Fantasy XIV. This show is brought to you by the Zero Lives Video Game Podcast, which is part of Black Coat Radio. Find this and many other quality nerdcasts for stream and download at Black Coat Radio on SoundCloud and YouTube. Join us each and every month to hear the latest comings and goings of Genova's finest free company.
Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.